We build massive, complex data pipelines to process billions of rows, only to feed a single, isolated spreadsheet. Mid-market companies routinely invest thousands into enterprise-light data infrastructure, buying the promise of total analytical transformation. Yet, the functional reality on the ground is starkly different. The vast majority of executives actively ignore these expensive, interactive dashboards. This behavioral failure is essentially an Excel addiction. When the pressure is on, leaders inherently distrust unfamiliar interfaces for critical decisions. This fallback behavior effectively demotes sophisticated BI platforms to background engines that only exist to clean data for a local user. The result is a highly fragmented ecosystem where every manager relies on their own local offline spreadsheet to do the math. Fighting this deeply ingrained user behavior with more data volume simply fails. Relying on local spreadsheets completely destroys any hope of a unified single source of truth. This operational dysfunction is now colliding with an immediate financial catalyst, forcing mid-market founders to reevaluate their entire software stack. This illustrates the threat. A 40% price increase for Power BI Pro licenses in 2025, plotted against a flat line for actual dashboard utilization. Looking closer, 90% of logged activity is simply users clicking Export to CSV. Budget-conscious companies are left paying premium, rapidly escalating software fees for features their own teams actively bypass. For the CFO, absorbing this enterprise pricing hike severely diminishes the actual return on investment for regional corporations. Why maintain loyalty to legacy enterprise stacks if they only serve to facilitate broken workflows? The combination of these broken workflows and rising costs proves that buying enterprise software is far different than investing in actual decision-making. The natural temptation is to pivot toward cheap AI-generated dashboards to bypass those expensive legacy licenses entirely. These tools offer immediate operational benefits, deploying incredibly fast with a significantly lower upfront cost. However, utilizing artificial intelligence for financial reporting introduces black box logic into small and medium enterprises. This split-screen scorecard highlights the flaw. While AI scores high for speed, the inability to verify its math results in failing marks for reproducibility. This creates a severe vulnerability for regional corporations, opening the door to uncatchable financial misreporting. You might tolerate a slight hallucination in your marketing analytics, but financial compliance operates in a reality of absolute zero tolerance for errors. While artificial intelligence solves the immediate licensing cost issue, trading absolute financial accountability for automated speed is a catastrophic risk for a mid-market firm. The systemic alternative to both expensive legacy tools and risky AI shortcuts is shifting the focus from data volume to context as currency. We call this decision integrity, ensuring the underlying business logic is governed and automated just as thoroughly as the visual charts themselves. Platforms like Pivot BI Analytics prioritize this exact context-first approach over offering infinite visualization customization. This comparison matrix maps out the three major pathways available to you, weighing cost, volume handled, logic automation, and financial reporting risk. The legacy Microsoft stack path requires high costs and handles massive volume, but scores remarkably low on business logic automation. AI shortcuts offer incredibly low costs, but introduce critically high financial reporting risks. The context-first path maximizes business logic automation, effectively minimizing reporting risk while balancing your upfront costs. By embedding the exact business rules, the why behind the numbers, directly into the platform, you inherently prevent the executive urge to hit that export to CSV button. The necessary trade-off here is effort. Achieving this requires strict upfront leadership alignment to define universally agreed-upon business rules before a single chart is built. By trading infinite complex chart options for rigid business logic, your company finally achieves a governed, highly accountable single source of truth. Looking at this quadrant chart, you must choose your automated reporting path strictly based on your operational budget and your organizational risk tolerance. A regional company balancing strict compliance with a mid-market budget maps to the upper left quadrant, prioritizing high accountability over software scale. This demographic must actively avoid the AI shortcut, as governed logic is far more essential than massive scale. If you are a frustrated IT lead currently fighting your executive's spreadsheet habits, your target is shifting entirely to business logic governance. You have to accept the mid-market trade-off. You cannot simultaneously demand infinite feature customization, a $0 budget, and absolute accountability. Removing an executive's need to manually verify the math completely shifts IT's role from building data pipelines to actively governing business operations. Implicit trust in the business logic removes the friction of manual reconciliation, allowing different departments to act on the same numbers. This brings us to the ultimate metric for mid-market business intelligence success: decision velocity. Decision velocity is the exact speed at which your team can trust a reported number without downloading a CSV to check the math. The value of your BI stack manifests in the integrity of the resulting choice and the speed at which you can make it.